Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominions 6. I am the False God. We're playing as Pyrene. We're on turn 51. We had just put up Mother Oak. We're trying to put up Blood Vortex. Messenger has arrived from Bandar Log. You can pause and read it. It is obviously a song. I remember exactly who it's supposed to be. But it's a monkey. Life could be a dream. Has died. He has been put down by the forces of Nabaa after holding out quite vigorously against Abyssia and against Agartha. And honestly, probably to some extent ruining their games. He has finally met his match. We have gone ahead and claimed the Throne of Earth. We put up Blood Vortex successfully. Woohoo. Dark Knowledge. Arcane Probing misses. This is where Agartha has put up Earthblood Deepwell. So that's unfortunate. Not that we're near Agartha or Agartha's doing anything in particular to us with it. Just that it's something that we could have had. And now they have it. We found a Damned Merchant, so that's one Blood Slave and then one Earth Gem to go with the fact that we've got 3 Earth Gems from this. So a lot of extra Earth Gems, which of course is what we already had the most of by quite a lot. We've got some more Blood Slaves. Vanarus is attacking Man, which I think I talked about. Maybe it happened a little bit later than I thought it did. 39 Zmays. That is a lot of Zmays, and Zmays I think are buffed compared to where they were in Dominions 5, as Cold-Blooded is no longer quite as bad. Drake Fire is also now a fatigue weapon instead of an ammunition weapon. But so 45 hit points, low protection but not ultra low, pretty bad defense for a bunch of bites and a Drake Fire, and they fly around. I assume that. Okay, he's got a Robe of the Sea and a Water Lens. And then some Air Gems. He's doing Quickness and Protective Winds. And they're all gonna go, jump on these poor sods of PD. See if there they go. And there goes, you can see, there goes tons of fire breaths. Doesn't look like he killed any of his own men though. And he did something. Vanarus attacked man. What happened here? There's 83 longbowmen here with 1 Castellan. Are they on retreat? They're just all on retreat. That is not gonna get the job done. I don't know if those were on retreat to do something else, but they were not on retreat to deal with this. So it's gonna go ahead and take that one too. So you can see we got 79 blood slaves from people jumping themselves into the Blood Vortex. So that's awesome. That's a ton of blood slaves. That's very good for us. This was very bad for me. I was very sad about this. Our Acrobelts, Blood Vortex, the Acrobelts, was banished from this world. And I had not been aware that this was a thing. And it turns out that it is a thing. And it is a thing when you have mages, I think it's particularly blood mages. It's been a long time now since I looked it up, but particularly blood mages who are in the same province as one of the Ice Devils, one of the Archdevils, one of the Heliophagai. I think it's the Heliophagai count too. And they will sometimes just banish your guys out of the world. And I think this is the first time it's happened to me, and I think it's the last time it's going to happen to me. And it happened to our guy who we put 300 blood slaves into casting Blood Vortex on. Now, so that's real bad. Now, the thing is, Blood Vortex is still up. And so he has not died in Cocytus. So basically, every turn you're down there, there's a percentage chance that nothing happens. There's a percentage chance that you get attacked by miscellaneous monsters. And there's a percentage chance that you return home. And I think being a high blood mage or having some of the blood items can maybe help with some of those things. But if you are returned home, there is a percentage chance that you're returned to the province you came from. And a higher percentage chance that you are returned to a random province. Anywhere. Could even be the water, in which case you drown. But so for now, our guy is out in Cocytus. And we're just going to see every turn if he comes back. He also, of course, was banished with all the gear that we had on him. So that's bad too. So this was very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. And there absolutely was something we can do about it. You can see I was quite upset, and we are banishing the Archdevil from our capital before, God forbid, he does it again. Also, look, there are so many mages here, and they're all blood mages. Except, you know, Gulag here. So it was pretty unlucky. I was unhappy with this turn of events. And so now we're just gonna essentially have to try and set up to cast it again, or be prepared to cast it again, and see if he comes back. Yeah, it was most upsetting. So we also got to be wounded in an arcane lab disaster. So big sadness there. We are gonna go for a Heliophagus. Lanterns, hammers, another Heliophagus, a Bloodthorn, and we're gonna keep blood hunting and researching. Yes, they're right. Very upset. This vexes me. Terribly vexed. We will get our. No, we're not quite there on the gnomes yet. Not next turn, but the turn after. I think we'll have a gnome. You could say I also decided to do the Heliophagus somewhere else, because I think that they theoretically can have the same. Yeah, the other one's here. The same thing happen. The other thing with the Heliophagus is that at least one of them, if not multiples, is a plague bringer, and so I obviously do not want to do that in my 52,000 population capital. So those have to be done somewhere else. But this guy got to go. Much unhappiness. Let's go to 52 and see if he's returned. And the math, I don't remember all the individual percentages. The overall math, though, is highly against you getting your guy back. It's just not very likely. So we do go ahead and summon 2 Heliophaguses. So we get Mabakil. So here's the Reaper. So obviously we don't want him in our capital. But he's Death 3, Blood 3. He's got Fear. He's invisible. A lot of dark power. So he's gonna be able to do like vampires for us. He's not really a super combatant, but you could like heavy thug him if you wanted to. It's probably not really the right way to do it. But he's gonna potentially fly along with our armies, and he can cast big death spells. If we don't have a vampire to do it. But it's possible. We have another one. This guy's better for us. He's got Death 4. So that's going to be the highest Death Mage we can get access to with certainly any kind of anything easy to do. And so he's going to get, he can forge a Skull Staff, and then he can forge himself up to a Death Mask, Face of Death Mask. I can't remember what it's called. Skull Face. A Skull Face. And so he can be a Death 6. And there's a lot of great stuff that a Death 6 could do for us. So, Very happy to have them both on board. We're gonna go ahead and shove them both in this. This throne has a tiny population and is perfectly safe behind its big wall, so happy enough to move them over there. Besides that, kind of a bad blood hunting turn. Got to do more. Picked up another 79 there. Heat +1. Yes, we may have affected everyone with disease. You know, as one does. As one does. Now, it doesn't, everybody already knew we were at Blood 8 because we cast Blood Vortex. So we're not giving away a ton of information besides the fact that we are choosing to spend Blood Slaves on commanders and not on troops. Which is valuable and is something. But here's actually, this guy's going to make our Skull Staff. And then he's going to hand it over to Gorillon probably next turn. Well, it's not going to do that much next turn. We have very few Death Gems. We need to keep looking for death. We're site searched, certainly some of it, but not, there's still a lot of room to site search more of it. But let's see, what else are we doing this turn? Yeah, there's the Skull Staff. Try another transformation, so we're doing that. We're turning that back on. Bloodthorn, Lanterns and Hammers, more enlivened statues, Armor of Souls, a lot more transformations. Our income versus, the upkeep is quite high. Our upkeep versus income is quite high, so we need to kind of see if we can tamp that down a little bit. And turning people into animals is one of the ways that we can do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Nabaa is now a free agent again. And there's some conflict here. We'll see how long that lasts. And again, for better or worse, I'm now committed to sitting here until not only does Infernal Crusade get researched, but I've had probably, ideally, 3 or 4 turns to use it to generate all those demons and see that pay off. So it was a very, very long-term investment, and we'll see if it pays off. But I want to get through 53 here, because 54, I think in 54, Eyes of God goes up, and so we'll do that next episode, but I gotta go and find those graphs and such. So we gotta make sure we get through 53. Transformation. Looks like everybody's alive. My global chain was dispelled when another was created. In this case, it was Abyssia has recast Mother Oak, which is uncool. It was very uncool. So that's bad. Blood Vortex returned. And unfortunately, we can tell from the flag that that's not a province that we own. So he returned here in Deep Wagor in Abyssia. So he's here. He's up against one large boulder, 1 warlord, and 2 cavemen. He does not have any kind of casting help on, so he's going to do enlarge bark skin, gift of cat eyes, so he's got partial dark vision, temper flesh. Okay, that's like a spell. I think he's fatigued himself out doing all this, though. I was not prepped for him to get sent to the underworld, and so he didn't have any particular casting set up, and so he's just on spells. He's still fatigued out. He's not going to try and fight them, though, with his Bloodthorn, which would steal their life. He's going to try and cast something else. Hit them! Hit them! Yeah, he doesn't hit them. He dies. For 2 cavemen. So he died. That was, in fact, the real result. And we were very sad. Abyssia certainly knows about it. Because it happened to them. He was quite upset that he did not get to steal all my gear. And Cookies also knew about it. He apparently had a scout there. And the global enchantment, of course, goes down. The good news is that... Is there good news? We do still get the Vortex for this turn. So we still got 73 Blood Slaves there. So this turn we've lost both of our globals. There is much sadness in the realm. But he almost made it back too. At this point, I think it's like... It's either like 33-66, like 50-50 that he shows up in your province. Like there's like a real chance that he could have made it. But he didn't. In better news, we did get a giant shaman out of our transformation. So this not only fixes the upkeep problem, right? But now we have this 76 hit point guy. Now normally his MR is 15, which is still perfectly fine. He's got access to all of his slots. Really nice mage that we got access to here. He's gonna cast Blood Vortex for us again. I think we do a smaller cast this time though. Yeah, only 254 this time. We put in what we had. We got a monster boar. We found an enchanted field. More blood slaves. We failed again. Vanarus attacks man and wins. Asphodel attacks man and wins. We successfully fend off stuff. We get barbarian. Batia gets attacked by cavemen, but they're held off. We get attacked by barbarians, and they kill our priest. One of our scout gets found. We found somebody else's scout. So, pretty bad turn for us. All of our stuff went down. Cookies is now that he's finished off Banderlog, is getting set up to go and fight man because he's really pissed about this boat. A lot of unhappiness. Unfortunately, this monster boar we got did put 7 unrest in our capital, which costs us a lot of gold. Try and patrol that out. Yeah. Other than that, we're shuffling some more blood hunting stuff around. We're doing a vampire. So the vampires, again, I think the question is, how many vampires do you want? It's not as many as you used to want. So they blood hunt okay. So they do eventually pay for themselves. Although you just kind of are churning through your own population faster. When you're going to raid with them, they're vulnerable to not only just getting killed and sent home, but they are vulnerable to mine hunt, etc. So, you can solo raid with them, and I think that there's a reasonable time and place to do so. But you don't want as many as you used to want. They're more expensive. The big one for us is that is a death mage that we can add to our army to cast darkness and other death spells with relative ease. So we're going to probably, in the same way we kind of want at least one golem per army, we probably want one vampire per army. Maybe we need less than one because we send Mabakil, but he is a bit dicey to be wandering around and killing all your own stuff. So one Curse of Blood. The other one, we're going to cast Forge of the Ancients. So I should have done this a long time ago. I talked about it in the video. I hadn't really thought about it then. But I did think about it now. And so we're going to go ahead and put up Forge of the Ancients. If we had done it then, we'd be in a much better position. We would have obviously we've forged a lot of items since then. We've gotten the rebate on all those items. Instead, right now we got to forge even more items to essentially make it worth it. It is a min cast, by the way. Exactly 80. But it's gonna help. It's gonna break us into everything. Most specifically, right, this guy gets the ability to cast the Robe of the Magi, and once we have the Robe of the Magi, we're basically golden on everything. We'll be fully broken into all paths at 6+ everywhere. So there'll be really no more spells we can't cast except like some really, really high level stuff. Like high level astral stuff, maybe like at max, right? This guy can go 3, 4, 5. But this person, but he can put a, so that 5, right, is 6. So this guy's, 5 is 4. So, but you put the coin on him, he can make or both, either of them could make a ring of sorcery and go up another level. So we've got access to pretty much everything. We have higher level astral 2, I think, somewhere. We have an astral 3. Goofball. I thought we had an astral 3. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're still looking. I guess we still have not gotten that astral 3 archdevil that we wanted for Christmas. But we are going to go ahead and put up Forge of the Ancients and break ourselves into everything. We're getting away. We're not being punished currently for a tremendous amount of greed. Just due to the rest of the events kind of happening on the map. So we're gonna try and roll with it though, and not get punished for it. Keep trying to not get punished for it. Anything else that we're doing? Nope, that's pretty much it. Still trying to steal Man's Grasp, but as we're gonna get the Grasp next turn sent to us and everybody, so not really relevant. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and call it here, and then next episode I'm gonna try and see if I can't find those score graphs and show those to everybody. We do not cast it, so I don't have them in the turn. I gotta go find them in Discord or see if somebody has easy access to them. So in any event, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope to see you all in the next one, and have a great day.